Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest and welcome to the final trading day and calendar day of 2024. The markets have closed. Even though market index says it closes in another 8 minutes, that is wrong. The market has just gone through the closing auction, so trading has finished for the year. And to be honest with you, it was a disappointing end to the year. So hopefully 2025 will start off on a better note. Now, I'm going to be blunt with you, be completely honest. And to be honest with you, this is not a surprise. Today might be the most boring day of the year in terms of announcements. I went through quite quickly all the price-sensitive announcements released today, 48, and I would say more than half of those were just inconsequential ETF announcements. The final dividend distribution for period ending 31st of December 2024, quite a few of those announcements, and then quite a few of updated estimated distribution announcements for ETFs. And if you just filter that out, not many interesting announcements. But saying that, there were a few intriguing, interesting announcements. So I'll talk about those companies in this video, and I'll talk about a few other companies as well, just to talk about something, because nothing much happened today. Now, a disappointing end to the year, down a little bit, which is not a surprise. NASDAQ was down about 1.3%, Dow Jones down about, I think it wasn't quite down 1%, but you can definitely understand why we had a negative end to the year, because Wall Street did not provide us with a good lead in. And what I'll do now is just go through the sectors and indices, and no surprises here either. Although energy had a good day yesterday, had a good day today. So pretty good end to the year for energy. Utilities up. Discretionary had a pretty bad end to the year as well, down 1.33%. And it looks like maybe the banks had a pretty bad day as well. Let's just confirm that. CBA down, 1.2%. So maybe that's a bad lead into 2025. Who knows at this point in time? We'll have to wait until Thursday, the 2nd of January. Of course, no trading on New Year's Day. We're all getting over our hangovers, except me. I won't have a hangover at all. Anyway, let's go back to the sectors and indices. In fact, I've done with the sectors. In fact, let's have a look at the last week. So I'm pretty sure energy's had a pretty good, energy up 2.97% for the week. Yes, it's done really well, and for the month is the best performing sector for the last month of the year. Now onto the indices. Small caps, not a bad day, only down 0.33%, and ASX 20 down 0.8%. I'm assuming all the big banks are down, including Macquarie. I would say maybe iron ore's down. So I'd say 4 companies up, 16 down. Oh, only one company up today in the ASX 20. And that company is Woodside. Well, that makes sense. Woodside Energy. Energy had a good day. Woodside Energy, of course, up. Transurban, Telstra, flat. And the worst performing company in the ASX 20 is Pro Medicus. And then we have Wesfarmers, CBA, Aristocrat, and ANZ. And then also Goodman Group, all down by over 1%. Okay. So not a good day for those who are heavily invested in the ASX 20 companies, although that's true for most companies today. In fact, according to this, it's updated. It's a worse day than I thought, because down 0.92%. So the market actually did fall in the closing auction. We can actually verify that. If I just go to ComSec, and it won't be in trading view just yet because it's 20-minute delayed. If we have a look at the chart for ASX 20, and then if you just go to the one-day chart, there was a bit of a sell-off in the closing auction. There was a bit of sell-off, and that's understandable because as I started recording this video, there would be a bit of a delay, and it was only down 0.7% when I started recording, I'm pretty sure, and now it's down 0.92%. Now, you can verify that. You can go back in the video just to see if it was only down 0.7%, but a bit of a sell-off in the closing auction, so maybe that's not a good lead into 2025. I don't know. Or maybe just the American futures are down, and that's why we saw a bit of a sell-off. Tech down 1.15%. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at the top gainers and top losers today. Let's do that. A company called 5E Advanced Materials. I will talk about this company because they did get a price query from the ASX, up 51.16%, the best performing company today. In fact, let's talk about 5E Advanced Materials right now. It is the best performer of the day and no news flow. But they did release, or they did receive a price query from the ASX. And I do sometimes like how these companies answer these price queries because it can tell us a lot about what management might be thinking. Particularly if they do answer section or question 3. Typically, a company will answer no to question 1 because that would imply there's a bit of insider trading. If they say yes, and then if they answer no to question 1, question 2 is not applicable. And then question 3, they're giving a bit of, or allowed to provide a bit of creative license to explain why the share price might have gone up or down a lot. So let's see how at 5E Advanced Materials, a company I don't know anything about, answered their price query from the ASX, a price and a volume query. No to question 1, not applicable question 2, and in question 3, fairly short. Sometimes these answers can be quite long and you get a lot of insight, but this company stated they have been trading at a discount relative to the US market, which has outperformed recently relative to CDIs. Currently, there is no other explanation. So again, this is question 3 gives the management some license to be creative, to try to explain why the share price might have increased 50% today. And they're saying we're cheap in Australia compared to the CDIs in the United States. And that's the only explanation they have. Anyway, let's have a little chart for 5EA. 5E, what was it? 5E Advanced Materials. So I'm assuming they developed advanced materials. That's the 1 hour chart. And there was, in fact, the share price has gone on a nice little run, 2-day run. Other than that, the chart is horrendous. Chart has just been dropping ever since they listed on the ASX back in early 2022. Share price has dropped from 380 all the way down to 13 cents. So I'd say this is a story stock. And on occasion, you see the share price rallying and then pull back, rally, pull back. You've seen this 4 or 5 times in the past. And why is this time going to be any different? A nice 2-day rally. And if anything, I would not be surprised to see the share price pull back up this rally. Now, in saying that, the share price has been going sideways for the past 3 or 4 months. So maybe the low is in. And then I know nothing about this company. And when I say know nothing about this company, I mean nothing about this company. I'm just going to go back. Do they release Appendix 4Cs? I can't see any Appendix 4Cs here. Did they have anything in their price query about what this company does? No. If we go, we can actually go to Market Index, open up their page, and it should give us a little snapshot. There we go. Focus on becoming a vertically integrated global leader in supply of specialty boron and advanced boron derivative materials, complemented by lithium co-product production. The company's mission is to become a supplier of these critical materials in industries addressing global decarbonization, food, and domestic security. I would assume this is more of a story stock than anything. I would not be shocked if this company has no... I wonder if this company was in Bell Potter's top picks for 2025. That would be interesting. That could be another reason why the share price is rallying. I would not be surprised if this company has no revenue at all. I'm trying to find the most recent. Let's have a, oh, geez. I'm trying to look at the most recent financial information here. There we have 5EA Form 10K annual results. Do they release quarterlies? I just want to know if they release quarterlies. They must, because it looks like, yeah, Form 8K. Which one is it? Oh, 5EA delivers first commercial delivery. Ooh, that's interesting in itself. I'm going to open up this particular announcement. I'm hoping, not sure what an 8K is. I'm hoping this is some sort of financial announcements. No, I don't know. They are talking about first truckload sale and delivery of boric acid. Yeah, all I want is just to see the most recent revenue numbers. That's all I want. 5EA. I'm giving up. It's just taking too long. Anyway, If you do know more about this company, I'd love to hear your thoughts on 5E Advanced Materials. So leave your thoughts in the comment section of the video, but the chart does not fill me with any nice fuzzy feelings. Other than that, if you look at top gainers, until we get to fire or MTM critical metals, a very low volume. So yeah, MTM critical metals still on a pretty good run. And then just behind MTM critical metals, we have Archer Materials. This actually chart did pop up the other day on my screener, Archer Materials, because it does look like the share price might be moving in an uptrend. Yes. So it looks like maybe the share price is breaking out, but we've seen the same thing happen twice, maybe 3 times in the past few years. Looks like the share price is on a run and that run falls away. So maybe this time is different, but those are some of the most dangerous words when it comes to investing. This time is different. And don't really have to look at MTM critical metals because we've looked at that chart enough. And other than that, nothing much happening today. Now let's have a look at top gainers by market cap. Mesoblast. It is not up 10%. I'm pretty sure it was only up 6%. So 6 points. So there's a little bit of set-off. I'm not sure why Mesoblast is 10%. Maybe that's old. I'll have to refresh the page. Yeah, there we go. Up 6.9%. A good day for Drone Shield. All these companies did not release any announcements, so we know this is just noise. This is all just noise, except right at the bottom, Proteomics International Laboratories. It did release something. So let's talk about Proteomics International. We talked about this company yesterday, up another 8% today, and they released the second price-sensitive announcement in a row. The last 2 trading days of the year, this company has released 2 price-sensitive announcements. Novel OxyDX test detects muscle damage in elite athletes. Again, this is not the sort of announcement that would, lead me to take a position in the company because who knows what could be the result of this. Now, they did mention results are a significant milestone proving the OxyDX test can be used to monitor athletic performance, but we just don't know the benefits of what's happening here to proteomics, even in the long term. Nothing could come of this at all. And the main reason I say this is because I can see numerous paths moving forward for this company in regards to this test, these OxyDX tests. It could be significant for the company. It may be nothing for the company. That's why I don't usually get excited about these sort of announcements because it may mean nothing in the long run for the company. That's just me. Maybe you might get excited or more excited about this company, but this sort of announcement does nothing for me. But 2 interesting announcements in a row. And the reason I say interesting is because the share price has popped up and maybe the bottom has been reached for Proteomics. 2 good volume days in a row, but we saw 2 good volume days in a row back in October and then the share price faltered. So I need to see the share price not pull back for me to be excited about this chart for Proteomics. Okay, let's have a look at top losers. In fact, Proteomics and 5E Advanced Materials are 2 companies I just wanted to talk about so I can get rid of those 2 companies on my list. Now, the top losers, low turnover. It's low turnover, low turnover. In fact, they're all low turnovers. And I would also say majority of these companies, well, I have heard of majority of these companies, but they're all small. In fact, the biggest company on this list is Sheffield Resources, and even that turnover is fairly low. And that company has a market cap of 61 million. So let's have a look at the top losers by market cap. And so we have Hyperion, BrainChip. Not surprising there. I expected a bit of a sell-off for BrainChip. PYC Therapeutics. For some reason, I looked at this company yesterday. No, they didn't really say anything. I'm not sure why this company popped up. Why did this company pop up? It might be a crossover. That's right. I think this was a negative crossover in the moving averages. Let me just confirm. Yeah, there's a negative crossover in the moving average. It hasn't quite happened yet, but it did come up in my screener. And the reason it doesn't pop up here is because my crossover here is 25-day and 100-day. And in my screener, it's 20 and 100-day. So it's sort of like an early indication there might be a crossover. So that's the reason why this popped up yesterday. There's going to be a crossover in the moving averages. Okay, so another down day for PYC Therapeutics. AI Media is down, eRoad, MoneyMe, SKS Technologies. So some companies that have done pretty well this year are down today. Maybe some profit taking, I don't know. Maybe some investors don't realize that their financial year is not the same as the calendar year, which is like that in America. And in fact, one of the reasons I have heard why there's been a bit of sell-off in tech over there is just, and well, not tech, but there's been a bit of a sell-off in the last few days of the trading year is because their trading year is the same as their financial year. So they're just doing tax loss selling or something like that. Anyway, let's talk about a few other companies before I need to finish this video. Let's talk about SXG. This company did release a core activity report in Appendix 5B. So obviously they need to release their Appendix 5B by the end of December, not by the end of January. So they have a little bit of a different reporting cycle than the rest of the companies on the ASX. Yes, report activities and Appendix 5B for the quarter ended 30th of November 2024. And the only reason I'm talking about this company is because it's one of the only interesting announcements released on the day. And even then, this is not that interesting because if we go all the way down to the Appendix 5B, which is found on page, how long is this announcement? It's found on page 110. This company is not producing any receipts. It is not a production or company in production right now. So straight away, I move on to the next thing or the next company. But I'm pretty sure the chart for this company does look pretty good. Southern Cross Gold. Yeah, this chart does look good. In fact, the breakout for Southern Cross Gold was way back in September of 2023. So we're talking about 15 months ago, and that's a beautiful breakout. I'm not sure what they released, but the main thing is when the share price did break out, we didn't see any major selling. Share price went sideways for a while and then started creeping higher. That's a pretty good sign. So pretty nice chart for Southern Cross Gold. Other companies I want to talk about, not a lot. There's one interesting company or one intriguing announcement, Mayfield Childcare. The reason I found this interesting is just the title of this announcement, new incubator, placement to raise 4.6 million and restructure. I just saw new incubator and I just thought, well, this is an interesting step in the direction of this company. So they're into childcare centers and now they're creating humans in incubators. That's the first thing I thought of. Incubator, that's what they're doing. So I'm pretty sure this is like an investor, new incubator. I'm not sure why they call it incubator. Anyway, so incubator relationship, incubator agreement with a newly formed incubator partner backed with working capital provided by Finexia Limited and to be led by Mayfield's outgoing CEO, whose name I won't pronounce because I get it completely wrong. Anyway, so I also like the term incubator. For me, I just think of newly born children. And for some reason, I just thought, whoa, they're creating new humans in their incubators. Anyway, let's have a look at the chart for Mayfield Childcare Centres. Why not? Nothing else really to talk about, I suppose. Chart looks pretty bad. Looks like there is a bit of support level at about around about 50 cents. So why is there a support level at that price? Oh, that's the lows during COVID-19. So this company has moved all the way down to peak pessimism during COVID-19. That's not a good sign. Or maybe on the flip side, you could say, now there's value in this company. Okay, that's all I really want to talk about when it comes to Mayfield. What are they called? Childcare. I don't care about the company. There was a question about Mesoblast, which I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, let's talk about some of your questions because there's nothing else to talk about, to be honest. Have I finished with the top losers? Yeah, I finished with the top losers. Let's have a look at some of your questions. So Fishball says, will I be doing a video to reflect on or back on 2024 when it comes to your trades? I haven't planned on doing anything like that. Your mistakes and good moves. I don't really think of the new year as something to reflect upon the previous year, that sort of thing. Only once have I had a New Year's resolution and I stuck to it for the whole year. Will I do a New Year's resolutions? Maybe. I want to lose a little bit of weight, so maybe I'll do that. but I never think of the new year as something to reflect upon. So I have no plans to do a video like this. That's just me. Anyway, so Fish will also mention trying to set some financial goals and maybe rebalance his portfolio or her portfolio. Here is a comment to you. I've been watching your videos every day, so that makes it the most watched channel. Thank you for that. Anyway, so that's just me. I'm maybe a little bit different than most people. Maybe most people out there do, resolutions, change their goals for the new year, that sort of thing. That's just not for me. But maybe I can do some videos on my mistakes and good moves. Maybe I can do that. But I'm not planning it right now. Happy Now just mentions, talking about Mesoblast. Can't wait for a video today and my view on Mesoblast on what is occurring this morning on early trading. I think what's happened today with Mesoblast, because it was up about 10% at one point, finished only up 7%, 6.9%. I just think this is just what do you call it? It's just an after effect of that FDA approval the other day. So this is the weekly chart. Weekly chart looks pretty good. But if you go to the daily chart, I think it's just an after effect of that FDA approval. It's a very powerful announcement. FDA approval. There's a reason why that sort of announcement gets me excited, and it gets the market excited. It's possibly a company making an announcement, particularly if they get further FDA approvals for more of their products in 2025. Now, when they released this announcement, share price rallied 54%. Then the next day, the share price dropped, what was it, 20.67%. And on that next day, after that big drop, I bought some shares on open, which I don't usually do. And the whole reason I bought on open is because the share price fell to a point where I was comfortable buying more shares. And I fully expected the share price to go up. And this is not a surprise to me. This is just the after effects of that powerful FDA approval. And I fully expect the share price to go high from here. And the chart looks pretty good. Anyway, so that's all I think has happened to Mesoblast today. It's just FDA approval. That was over a week ago, and the effects of this FDA approval can last and probably will last a fair while. Anyway, so Mesoblast is not my biggest position right now, but it's pretty big because I've taken 2 positions just based off this news. Now, saying all that, and I am confident the share price will go higher, doesn't mean it will. So make up your own decisions, make up your own mind, follow your own heart, follow your own brain, that sort of thing. But just don't listen to me because I could be wrong. Just James Dean says, if market drops 40%, I'm all in, including both kidneys into Wesfarmers. That could be one company. But what if Wesfarmers doesn't drop at all? So maybe the market will drop 40%, but Wesfarmers actually goes up. What would you do then? Okay. Oh, another one from Happy Now. Double glad tonight. Came home to another video and also Proteomics news. While chart for Proteomics, as mentioned, sucks balls badly, I'm pleased as I got into this company in the hope that they would eventually succeed in limiting the pain and suffering of these women that have this issue in their lives. Now, in saying that, and I suppose that was a good announcement and a follow-up good announcement today, hope is not a good investing philosophy. That's one thing I just mentioned. Hope is not the reason why you should invest in a company, because hope has some negative connotations. Put it that way. You're hoping for something that may not happen, probably won't happen. Now, I think it all depends on your confidence and your conviction on what they're doing. So just keep that in the back of your mind, that hope is not a really good reason to invest in a company or even to maintain a holding in a company, hoping that something will happen. So if the share price is dropping and you maintain a holding and you're just hoping the share price or the company can release something positive to stop the decline of share price, that's a bad reason to maintain a position in a company if you're just hoping. Yeah, anyway. Now, it doesn't mean Proteomics can't do really good things, but anyway, I'm just putting a different light on the word hope when it comes to investing. David Giblett says EIQ, which is EchoIQ, another healthcare stock to keep an eye on. I'm this one has been in the news recently, and I'm assuming, why not? Yeah, chart looks okay. It hasn't dropped below 22 cents, which would be a really negative sign because that's a nice little support level right now for EchoIQ. But if I see it drop below 22 cents, that will be negative. Other than that, long-term future of this company, I have no opinion. Absolutely zero opinion on EchoIQ. I can't even tell you what they do. Mr. Hypo says, I remember someone gave me a tip that Anteris was going to boom back when it's $20+. I had a quick look and was like, nope, for me, it's good to recognize when you've saved money by not listening to people. Yes, I'm not going to say anything kind about Anteris right now until they prove to me they have turned a corner. And Zandia says, thanks for the Taree shout out. You're welcome. And Rick Thellion says, MoneyMe is still going forward, 12-month high today. So that was yesterday. Share price has pulled back today, but that's okay. Share price has pulled back today. That's okay. Chart looks really good. So I bought in at 10 cents on a breakout. I should have added to that. I really should have added to that position because it stayed above 10 cents ever since I bought in. It tested 10 cents a couple of times, but it stayed above 10 cents. And I probably should have added to my position at about 14, 15 cents because it was pretty obvious at that point the share price was going to go high. Maybe not obvious, being a little bit unfair on myself. And Andrew Common says, can I do a video on Botanix? I actually wanted to, that was actually not a bad idea. I want to do a little bit of research on Botanix because there was, when I saw this particular announcement, first soft drug prescriptions as commercialization ramps up, I like the sound of that. I like the sound of commercialization ramps up. So yeah, I want to do a little bit of research on Botanix. So that could be a good idea for a video, I think. And the chart actually doesn't look half bad either. Today, it looks like share price got to either a long-term high or an all-time high. Let's just confirm. Ooh, looks like maybe it's an all-time high for Botanix. Close, anyway. So I think I can do that. Yes, I definitely want to do that. Okay, I've got two things I want to close on. And I've talked about everything except NAB and BHP. So why do I want to talk about NAB? NAB. Oh, yes, I remember why I want to talk about NAB. Okay, so at the end of every single trading day, I do or go through my screeners, and one of my screeners is a crossover between the 20 and 100-day moving average. My crossovers on this chart are between the 25 and 100-day moving average. So we don't have identical list of companies. So I'll just show you. It probably has not triggered yet. It's not triggered. And the simple reason is that was yesterday's. So for today, we have a crossover in Incitec Pivot. Let's have a look at that. Or just about a crossover. But this is I keep forgetting. So it won't show up in the chart because it's a different, it's 2500 and here is 20 and 100. And the reason it's 20 and 100 is because that was the only option for me. Anyway, let's go back to NAB. Hopefully that will make sense. Get rid of this. It's sort of like a preemptive crossover. I see it in this list, and then I know there's a chance it's going to cross over soonish rather than later, either way. So NAB popped up yesterday, and I think it will cross over eventually the next few days, particularly the share price stays below the two moving averages. Now, the reason why this is interesting is because the share price of NAB has been a beautiful uptrend since December last year, and this is another sign that maybe things are starting to roll over for the banks. The first company that had this sign was ANZ. So this had a crossover maybe a few weeks ago. And now I'll probably also say ANZ is the lowest quality of the four big banks. And I'll probably say either NAB or Westpac is the second or third lowest quality. And looks like both of those companies, particularly NAB, is starting to roll over as well. I'm just going to have a look at Westpac. Oh, not quite there. A little bit more strength in Westpac, and CBA is nowhere near that point either. But we are starting to see the first signs of cracks within the banking sector in Australia after a really good 2024. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about is BHP, and I suppose this could be my stock of the day. Why not? I am going to record my stock of the day right now. So, and the reason why it's a stock of the day is, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it in this video. Okay, I'm just going to test a little, something we hear all the time on Ausbiz the Call, when David Koch always says, you buy BHP at 40 and sell at 50. Well, he doesn't say that. He says his friends tell him, you buy BHP at 40 and you sell at 50. And I've been thinking, is that a real investing philosophy? So what I'm going to do is put a line at 50, and I'm going to put a line at 40 just to see if this works out. Okay, the first thing that I noticed is it's only hit 50 twice. This is the weekly chart, by the way. It's only hit 50 twice in the last few years. So that's not a really good signal. It's only hit 50 twice. And the share price has been oscillating below and above 40. Or did that oscillating below and above 40 between 2021 and 2022. And then went above 40 and then has hit 40 quite a few times since August. I don't see any buying at 50, selling at 40 here. It just hasn't worked because it only hit 50 twice. And it's been, put it this way. I expected to see BHP trading in a channel between 40 and 50 for the last 3 or 4 years, and I just don't see it here. Now, if it rallies back up to 50 over the next, say, few months and then goes back down to 40 and then rallies again to 50, I could definitely see someone saying, you buy BHP at 50, sell at 40. But that thing I have heard David Koch say at least 20 times in the past 5 or 6 months, I just don't see it here. Okay, that's all I have for this particular video. If you have any questions, any thoughts, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.